Hello, my sweet friends. Welcome to DIY with Nadia and welcome to another Wreath Wednesday. Today, I'm doing a fall wreath using some 21-inch Deco mesh, and all my supplies are from the Dollar Tree. This wreath, I'm going to start off with a 14-inch metal wreath form from the Dollar Tree, also 21-inch mesh. Now this mesh I did get at the Dollar Tree, but if you're not able to find it at the Dollar Tree because it's so rare, try your Walmart. Walmart has the exact same one, possibly for $1 or $2 more, but still a fantastic price. Then basically everything else is going to be from the Dollar Tree. The ribbon that I'm going to be using, it has fall leaves on it. Then I am going to be using some of this glitter tulle. And then pumpkins. Now for this one, you can either use these ivory ones or these orange ones because really both of them would look beautiful. But I am leaning towards the ivory ones a little bit more. And then of course we are going to need some chenille stems or pipe cleaners. This is what we're going to be actually starting out with, and you're going to need 18 of those. The way I count my rings on the wreath form are from inside out. So ring 1, 2, 3, and 4 is the outside one. So on ring 2, we're going to put one of these pipe cleaners straight in the middle, and I'm just going to give it one twist. You could give it 2 to keep it in place. The second and third pipe cleaner are going to go on row 3, and they're going to go on the sides right here. Same thing, find my middle and give it a twist. So this is what each one of the sections are going to look like. 1, 2, 3. If you want, you could hot glue this in place. I'm going to repeat this in all the sections, and then we're going to start on our Deco mesh. For today's Wreath Wednesday, I'm collaborating with Connie's Creative Creations, and on her channels, you can find beautiful Trash to Treasure and Dollar Tree DIYs. I will link her channel in the description box below. Please visit her and let her know I said hello. Before we attach our Deco mesh, I wanted to remind you to make sure that to unroll it where it's rolling on top instead of at the bottom, meaning instead of it being unrolled this way, you want to unroll it this way, meaning it curls under like this. So that way when you have your loops, they're going to be nice and smooth. So the first thing I am going to do is I'm going to go in about an inch, inch and a half and bring the whole side together. Now we're ready to attach. Some wreath makers like to go from outside in. I like working from inside out just because at the end it's easier to work on the outside rows when you're attaching it. So here I go, starting from row 2. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put my bundle straight on here. And I'm going to give it at least 2 twists. If you feel uncertain, give it a third twist, but 2 is fine. Especially on the first one, I'm somebody who likes to make sure that it's nice and secure, and I use a zip tie. On the rest of them, I'm not going to do that. I just use the zip tie on the first one and the last one. There we go. I'm just taking it to the side a little bit so it kind of pulls in nicely, nice and tight. And now we're ready to do our loops. Our loops are going to be 9 inches. My white square right here, this middle square, this white square is 8 inches, so I'm going to go from side to side plus 1 more. And I'm just placing my wreath right on there, right exactly where my little square is, measuring out 9 inches. And then I'm going to go to this next section, place my Deco mesh right here, and give it 2 twists. Look at this. Isn't this beautiful? We just started. All right. Going to the next one. I got my 9. Going to the next section and 2 twists. So my last loop in row 1 is going to be right on top of my first one. And we are done with our first row. Now, instead of going to the pipe cleaner in this section, we are going to skip and go to the next section. So in the next section, we have the 2 pipe cleaners. We're going to take the first one in the next section. Because if you go in this section, you're going to have like a big bubble, which is kind of useless. You know, you want those beautiful waves. So I'm going to measure my 9 inches right here. And I'm going to go in this next section. And now I'm going to go all the way around until I come back to the same spot. All right, we are on our last loop. So I'm going to measure out my 9. And you can attach it right here on this first one that you started with. I'm going to put it right on top. Keep it nice and tight. Give it at least 2 inches. Cut it off. This tail I'm going to put behind right there. And I'm going to grab a zip tie and I'm going to tie it in place. Our wreath is all done, but I'm not going to fluff it out until the very end. So I'm going to put this aside and we're going to bring our ribbon in. We are going to do 12 inches. So grab any 12-inch ruler and just start going around. So 1 spool of this roll is enough for 9 of these, which means you're going to need 2 of these in order to make our 18 bundles. Next, I'm just going to make little dovetails. So for my question of the day, I've heard these types of tails called 3 different things: dovetails, ducktails, or fishtails. I want to know in the comments below what you call these things when you make them. All right, I'm done with both of these. And just so you know, this one kind of came a little short. And this was supposed to be the 9th ribbon. And it was about 6 inches too short. So I did have to start a 3rd roll of this one. But this one was fine. I got 9 out of each roll. Now let's get started on the glitter tool. I want my glitter tool to be 2 inches shorter than my ribbon, just because I don't want it to go over the tails. I want the tails to stand out. Since our ribbon tails are about 1 inch on both sides, we're going to go from 12 inches to 10 of these. So if you're doing 10-inch ribbon pieces, go down to 8 in the tool. That's what I mean. This is very faint, but it's going to be so elegant. And I'm going to be using my rotary cutter to cut my 10-inch pieces. All right, my friends, you're looking at a little bit of a finished wreath. The reason for this is my camera would not download the clip where I put these bundles together. So what I'm going to do is show you how I did it. I actually undid one of the bundles, put it together, and then the video is going to move on from the part where the camera did agree to work with me. So we have our strips right here, and with these, it doesn't matter which one's on top, which one's on bottom. As you can see, you can just open them up and move them around how you want. So I'm basically taking one, putting the other one crisscross, just like this, like in an axe. And then I'm grabbing my mesh here on my tool, and I'm just scrunching everything together. And when you scrunch, see how it's starting to kind of come up and kind of making its own little wave there. And then I'm going to take our pipe cleaners and just put it in between our pipe cleaners. Give it 2 good twists, and then you can either cut them or whatever you want to do. But I'm going to take these 2, and I'm going to feed them through to the back. And then in the back, I'm going to give it 2 more twists. And then what I like to do is I usually don't cut these off. I just kind of fold them in and kind of tuck them back. And so it's going to look something like this. And then I'm just going to go on and go to 18 of the pipe cleaners and put these bundles in. And once again, I'm so sorry that this part got cut out from the camera. But now we're going to continue where the camera does work. All right, I am all done putting my bundles in. So now I'm just going around, and anywhere I feel like it needs to be filled up, I'm opening up the Deco mesh. Otherwise, it really should be just kind of full. And because it's 21-inch mesh, it's doing its job. So the next thing, I am going to grab my pumpkins, and the really cool thing about these little sweet things are they come with little clips on the back side. So all I'm going to do is wherever I feel like going all the way around, I'm just going to attach my pumpkins. I highly recommend you attach it to the Deco mesh just because it's a stronger hold. So maybe somewhere right here. And then just work the ribbon around it. It's going to be so adorable.